What is up, everybody? It is Chachi the plumber, and today we're replacing this old Kohler Rialto toilet with this brand new, beautiful TOTO one-piece toilet. So first things first, we got the new toilet in the van. We brought it up to the station, and now we gotta clear out the water in this old toilet. First thing we're gonna do is shut off the valve that feeds this toilet the water. Luckily, it wasn't on a nipple, so we were able to close it up with confidence that it wasn't going to snap in the wall. And we're going to flush all the water out with the water off. We're going to flush it as much as we can. We're going to take off the supply with a pair of channel locks and then with our hands. And of course, we're going to have gloves on today because we're going to be touching a wax ring, a dirty old wax ring. So we got our latex gloves on. We're going to pop this hose out to give us room to sponge the water out. You don't really got to sponge this part out, but I like to sponge it out, do the extra minute of work so the toilet's a bit lighter, and just so there's no water that can spill all over the place when you're carrying it out. So we sponge the tank first, and then we open up the lid, and we start sponging out that bowl. Now some people like using that Oatly water gelatin thing, and I've never used it before, but I'm an old-fashioned man right now, so I like using the sponge the classic way, and it does its duty. So now we're gonna take the caps off, and we're gonna take these Johnny bolts off. We're gonna use a pair of channel locks to loosen up the nut, and then we're gonna take it off with our hands. This one wasn't so stubborn, it wasn't spinning, so we were able to take it off pretty easily. But this next side gave me a bit of problems, so I had some electricians busting my chops in the comments on one of my videos. So for you guys, I'm going to use my wire cutters to hold back on this Johnny bolt. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. I love my electrician friends, but come on, we know who the better trade is, right, guys? Those damn HVAC guys, they got it going on. Alright, so with that nut taken off of this stubborn Johnny bolt, we're ready to lift this bowl up and get it on that towel so we can clean up the wax ring, and then we could eventually take this bowl out. I had to call in some reinforcements to help me take this bowl out because this was a relatively big house and I didn't want to carry it all by myself, so one of my partners came in to help me, give me a hand, take the old toilet out and bring the new toilet in. But in the meantime, I was able to clean up this wax ring and of course get the toilet off the flange. So I'm using a scraper, the scraper I used to mix my plaster, scrape up this wax, and we're just going to grab the two Johnny bolts off. Luckily this flange was in pretty good shape, so we kept it as is. We're going to put the two Johnny bolts in place, and then we're going to install this TOTO plastic piece. This is a special toilet, so it comes with a special flange for the toilet. As you can see, it loops up and the drain fits into that back end on the toilet, so it's a pretty cool system. It's pretty nice, and it looks a bit complicated, but it honestly, it isn't so complex. So you just gotta figure out how to put it in, put it in straight, and put the Johnny bolts in place and tighten it evenly, or else it will bounce to one side and another. So we're going to straighten it out, and then once we tighten up those Johnny bolts and get them cut up, after I cut them, I like to tighten them up a little bit more. But we ran into a little bit of a problem. I'll tell you guys now before you guys see. You see that water line? I didn't realize it was this close to the toilet, and I'm assuming now that that's why they chose that Rialto toilet, because the water line wasn't getting hit against that. So you'll see when I set the toilet, I have to retreat and move back because I'm not able to get the toilet in place because it hits directly on that water line. So we had to compromise a little bit. I had to shut the water off, I had to go to the main, and I had to reroute this pipe, so I just put a nice little 90. There was some play on this pipe, and I mixed up some plaster, which was kind of unfortunate because I had to take the old plaster out and put the new one back on. because by the time I fixed this valve, the plaster was all dry, so I kind of wasted this little bucket of plaster. But this is a neat trick I learned. You just turn the water on at this valve with the supply on, fill the bucket up with water, and mix the plaster up right then and there, and you got yourself some plaster of Paris. So I put the plaster down, and then we were only really going for the front, but as you can see, it hits the water line. And I don't know if this is a rookie mistake or if I should have caught this before, but I'll definitely be more aware of this for the next time I estimate a toilet job like this. So luckily, like I said, there's some play in this water line. I was able to move it out so I could cut it, and I'd have enough room to put the Pro Press gun on it. So we cut it back so we could have enough room to put the 90 on, and I didn't have to cut the wall at all, so we're using this Milwaukee 1/2-inch cutter. We're going to cut the compression supply off, and then we're going to stick the 90 back on. But of course you got to clean your pipes up. Please clean your pipe up. And now I'm going to take the measurement of just how far the toilet goes out, see how much we have to go out. And it's about 6 inches, so we're a little off, but luckily the toilet notches off a little bit. So doing it this way, and if we push it up against the wall, it works out pretty good. So we got the toilet in place, and as you can see, we just make it with the water line. Again, looking back, I could have 90'd it up. I put a straight valve on it, but worked with what we got. We were gonna put an angle valve like this and just have it sticking out, but I decided to put a straight valve, as you'll see in the next clip. So we clean the pipe up, we get the angle valve on, and then I decided to 90 it up and put a street 90 with a straight valve. I think this looks a bit nicer, but obviously it isn't ideal, but we had to do what we had to do. She actually enjoyed it a bit. She thought it looked kind of neat with the brand new clean copper and the brand new valve. So with that being said, we're going to turn the water on, fill this toilet up, and we're going to put some plaster of Paris around the bowl to make it look nice. And she could always put a garbage can right there. I know it catches my eye, but it is what it is. Now we're just going to use our hand to wipe the plaster of Paris around the bowl. We're going to give the bowl a few flushes. We're going to use our sponge to wipe up the plaster of Paris. We're going to get that toilet seat on. This toilet seat was a bit of a struggle for me. TOTO, I don't know why they don't like plumbers, but they try to make everything a little bit extra for us. It is what it is. At least these just velcroed on. They didn't have to screw on. So at this point, I was ready to go. I just slammed these on, and that was it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know in the comment section below. The toilet's looking good. It's looking fresh. We're gonna put the cap back on, and she's got a beautiful new toilet in this beautiful bathroom. We're gonna flush it for the last time, make sure everything's working good, no leaks, and we're all set. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe.